Broadcasting from our studio in Ocala, Florida, I'm Brody Barcode.
I'm Ryan James.
And welcome to the Parlor, your hub for independent art and entertainment, as well as a platform to showcase independent artists and entertainers abroad. Now that's gourmet.
That it is, sir.
Hanging out with us tonight in the Parlor is the amazingly talented independent artist, as well as actress and model, Miss Sandy Johnson. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us.
So how's things been?
Things have been very good. I've managed to stay well. I'm taking acting lessons virtually, so I can even continue to do that. And yeah, things are good. A lot of people are visiting Facebook and my my online website, so all is good.
Wonderful.
Very cool.
Wonderful.
How's the with the acting lessons virtual? How is that? How's that working out? Just curious.
It's actually quite good. I have a very amazing coach. He's in California. Of course, I'm in Texas, but we meet via Skype, and he sends me the sides a couple days ahead. I kind of evaluate them, give them some thought, and then we go through them in an hour, and he records it, so I have something to look back at. And then over the last year or so, we've done several monologues where I've spent a lot of time working with them, and then my husband has filmed them for me, and I put them up on IMDb and other backstage and Actors Access and stuff. So yeah, it's working out great.
Very cool. Very cool. How does the experience via the internet compare to actually doing it live with your coach right there?
Well, obviously, I would prefer that he was right here, but I do live rural, and there isn't a coach right here. So considering that, it's great. I mean, it works for me.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So I'm gonna roll the clocks back here, and I'm sure everybody already knows who you are with regards to Halloween. But getting to play Judith Myers, Michael Myers' little sister there. How was that experience back then, as far as working on set and as far as the acting experience, being there with John Carpenter? And I don't know if you got to meet Jamie Lee Curtis at that time or not, but I mean, just how maybe, the schedule was, but how was that experience back then?
It was great. I had a great time on the set. Everybody there working was very busy but nice. And John Carpenter and Deborah Hill were very good about helping the boyfriend and I figure out exactly what they wanted and how they wanted done and what kind of atmosphere, and walking through the whole thing. It was a difficult shot because of the length of it. Starting at the road and all around the house and that whole deal. So there was a lot of talking through the different parts. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. The stuff upstairs was kind of scary at times because it wasn't a set, it was a real house.
Right.
And it was dark. And so, yeah, it was kind of creepy when I could hear them coming up the stairs and all of that, but it was fun. So I enjoyed it. I did meet Jamie Lee Curtis. She was there. I think that there were other people too, but I was pretty busy, so I didn't have a lot of time to visit.
Right.
But I had some interaction with her, and it was a good day.
Well, we've heard that Jamie Lee Curtis is an absolute delight to work with. I can only imagine what it was like back then as opposed to now when, I mean, she's evolved into the Scream Queens TV show and what else recently? Didn't she do the part of the remake of one of the?
Well, they archived your Judith Myers, right, for the Halloween 2018.
They did.
And of course, yeah, Jamie Lee came back around.
Right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They were looking for me for a long time, and I didn't know. My agent was looking for me for about 7 years, and Blumhouse was looking for me because they wanted to use that scene and they couldn't do it without my signature.
Oh,
And
wow.
I had no idea anybody was looking for me. So anyway, they were going to wrap the film within about 2 weeks of the time that they found me.
Mm-hmm.
So if it had been 2 weeks later, I actually wouldn't have been in 2018. So the timing was good.
That is so cool. So, like, speaking of acting, and just kind of curious, like, the work and experience in that time frame versus today. I mean, do you notice anything different as far as just the working aesthetics of it, or is it pretty relatively the same as far as back then to today?
The only thing that I have been able to do since I've come back, when I first came back, I didn't really think about going back into acting. I was just doing cons and visiting with fans and Facebook and everything. And then people started asking me, well, would you like to go back into acting? And I started thinking about it. I said, well, actually, I guess I'm not too old. So I started giving it more thought. So by that time, of course, COVID was here. And I have a film that I'm supposed to be in, but it shoots in the UK. Well, we know how that travel's going.
Yeah.
So hopefully this October. We were supposed to shoot last October. So the only thing I've actually got to do was a cameo, and it was via Zoom.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of hard to answer that question until I've actually done a film.
Gotcha.
That is completely reasonable.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the production that you're going to be doing in the UK once things really open up?
What its final title will be, I don't know, but it's referred to as Creeps at the Gym, as in a place you work out. Mm-hmm. And I am a physical therapist and an instructor of some sort, and I give massages and things, and I guess I'm a little wacky. I put that part in. I said, yeah, but I want to be a little wacky. So, so yeah, and it's a nice part. I like it. It's interesting. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I'm disappointed that we didn't get to do it last year, but they say they're holding it for me. So I hope they are.
Well, that's good though. Nice.
Yeah.
It's always nice to feel, feel that they're really going to put the effort in order to make sure that their personnel stay.
Yeah.
Right.
For something.
She's locked in.
Yeah. I mean, also in this industry, if you don't have that laid out, how are you really going to book anything else in the process and be able to work around things appropriately?
Yeah.
Right. So it's I think it's called the Great, oh gosh, the Great. Oh, well, there's my old brain. Anyway, it's great something that
no, it's so far out. Yeah, it's so far out. They haven't solidified enough yet. It's okay. Yeah. We're not going to go the other route. That what you said earlier doesn't exist.
Little teeth.
Great Northern Productions. I think that was Great Northern Productions. Okay. And they also did a film called Pumpkins that's on Amazon.
I've seen the poster for it. I haven't sat down to watch it because a lot of times I've got to wait until after my kids go to bed, and whether or not my wife she goes, "What are you watching? You watch the weirdest stuff." Sorry. And then meanwhile, she's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't." And I sit there and I laugh with her.
And then the one that I did the cameo for, that one is called, it's a Hungarian film. It's called Vulps, The Lust for Revenge. And it is about getting even with a man who abuses animals.
Oh,
Yeah. So I guess whenever this killer finds people that abuses animals, he kills the abuser. And so I guess my son in this is an abuser, and I'm the mother of,
Mm.
of someone that's going to be a victim, but I'm having a FaceTime chat with him before that happens.
oh,
Interesting. I mean, I, yeah, I mean that's how I feel. Well, that's how I felt whenever I saw John Wick and the puppy got killed. So, like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't have a problem with it. So, and actually there was a prologue. It was called Volp's the Prologue, and it was like chapter 1 and Lust Revenge is chapter 2.
Mhm.
So he
Oh, cool.
sent me chapter 1 to look at before he ever said he was interested in me doing anything. He just wanted me to look at it. And it was really good. I mean, I really liked it. The script was good, the acting was really good, the cinematography, all of the stuff. And I just said, that is really good. And so then he came back in like a week and said, okay, well, how would you like to do a cameo in the second one? So that was
Why
kind of
not?
fun.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
What drew you to the horror genre? Or is there any other genre in film that you would actually like to try out or pursue?
I was, as a teenager, I loved horror movies. And so my girlfriends and I would get together for slumber parties and stuff. And that's what we did. We watched horror movies. We had seances. I mean, it was all about that sort of thing. And so, I mean, I've just always liked horror movies. And so when I got cast for Halloween, I mean, that was great. I was excited that now I could actually be in a film that was kind of like all the ones I'd been watching. So yeah, I'm fine with being in horror films. There are some other ones that I wouldn't mind being in. I love comedy, so I would enjoy being a comedy. In fact, I can't reveal it yet, but there's another one that they are writing a part for me, and
Oh, nice.
it will be part horror, part comedy. So I will get to play with that some.
Awesome.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
So as far as going into the film business, going into the horror films, where did it all begin for you as far as just the entertainment field? Like when did it I guess where did it all start?
Probably when I was a little girl. I loved dancing. I took tap and ballet and all of that stuff. Then when I got into middle school and high school, I was in drama, I was in dance production, choreography, play production, just all of those types of arts. Singing, I took voice lessons. I was in a band. I mean, I just loved doing all of those things. I always thought I was going to be a dancer though, and that didn't work out. I did not become a dancer.
I remember
became a model.
when I got into it. I mean, I was a heckler in high school. And I was like, man, this is so dorky and stuff like that. Next thing I know, I'm volunteering at the local theater, and I made it into the first show, and I was terrified. And 4 major monologues by myself at the edge of the stage, first person on, the last person to leave that stage. But I realized that's where I wanted to be after I was stopped in the middle of my final monologue for the show. And it was the best experience, and I've been there ever since. It's wonderful.
Nice.
It's wonderful having that instant gratification of entertaining somebody, even if it's one person out of 400. I reached somebody, and that's what matters to me. And I get it. I mean, I'm primarily a tech guy, so I've done all different stages of the thing, but most of the time I end up being the tech guy, which is fine. I can handle that.
He does a great job as the tech guy. And I'm right there with both of you. I came from punk rock, and
Yeah.
next thing I know, some making music for horror films. That was where I got my start. And then somebody just said, "Hey, have you ever thought about going behind the camera to do work?" And next thing you know, yeah, here we are.
Well, with Erica, I got the role that nobody wanted. It was a drunken wife beater. I'm like, well, all right, what am I gonna do?
Here we go.
I'm just gonna grow out everything as much as my body will let me grow out on my face. And oh, good, I put on some weight. No, that was my weight, and and put on a tank top, and there I go. I just mean mugging.
Knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. But it's fun. I mean, what do you enjoy most about acting or performing in general?
I guess getting out of myself, just stepping out of who I am and just being somebody totally different. It's just fun. It's a freeing experience.
Oh, very much so. Much so. Being able to be in situations that you would not be in your normal life, and being able to figure out a way to convince somebody out there that this is really happening.
Right. Just working out all those little details and things that will make it real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That, and also working with great people.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all had good and bad experiences, but when you work with some of those people that really just invigorate the scene or a relationship after the movie is done or the scene is done, it definitely changes the perspective of things and how you would want to interact with your fellow actors or crewmates as well. And
I'm definitely looking forward to that aspect of it. So
Yeah.
far, it's been, I mean, I interact with other cast members and stuff at cons, but of course we're busy, and
Yeah.
but to really work with them, I know that the indie industry is for most part very tight knit, lots of good friends in there, and I look forward to being a part of that.
Yeah. What I was kind of curious. At what point did you realize that this is the direction that I'm going to go? As far as entertainment, film, modeling, just all the above within the realm, like, was there a point where it just finally hit you that this is me and this is the track that I'm going to stay on?
I was on that track when I was doing my other films, Hots and Gas Pump Girls and stuff. I mean, I was having a great time. I loved it. And then unfortunately, I got married, and well, right about that time, it wasn't just that I got married. I lost both my mom and my dad.
Oh God.
And I was very close
Sorry.
to both of them. And neither of them were easygoing. They both had cancer. It was awful both times. So I was very distraught. And I got married, and we ended up moving to Oregon. I just needed to get away.
Right.
And so I kind of lost track of that dream, because then I ended up getting divorced. I didn't have family in California now, so I went back to Texas where my sisters lived, and I just kind of started a whole new life. I went to college, became a teacher, and just led a different life until I got rediscovered 3 years ago, and I got drawn back in.
Well, oh, go ahead, buddy. Yeah.
How does it feel to be rediscovered and getting some attention back in the realm of film?
Well, it feels wonderful. I have met so many nice people, great people, so many fans that just, some of which I've become very good friends with. And just in addition to all the friends that I have on Facebook that talk to me, and I get to know their kids. So that part of it's been really fun, the social part of it. And of course, getting drawn back in so that I have a new income, which is very helpful. At my age, it's hard to just go out and get a job in this day and time.
Oh yeah.
I can't lift 50 pounds, right at the beginning, a lot of you have to lift 50 pounds. So that probably isn't a good idea for me. So yeah, it's nice to have an additional income. It's great to have so many new people in my life. I love to travel, so it's great for that. I've been able to travel to all these cons, and now the UK. So that's been awesome. And now to have opportunities to be in films again is just, and also I like to model. So I've been doing the modeling for the Facebook pictures. So I just kind of got to pull it all back together again.
Awesome.
But not to mention, I mean, as far as modeling, I mean, going back to what, 1974, I mean, June of 1974.
Yeah.
I mean, that is so cool, so iconic. I mean, that, you're a Playmate model. That's so awesome. Like, how was that experience? I mean, I'm sure you got to meet Pef and all the above.
I did. That was a very fun time, actually. And it was a good thing that happened to me, because I did that to try and earn the money to save my dad's life.
Oh, wow.
That's why I did it. And it did not save his life, unfortunately. But after he was gone and I was so depressed, it was a great outlet, because I got invited to all the parties, and there was the swimming and the wonderful meals, and there was a zoo on the property. So, I mean, it was like Wonderland. And so I could just go there pretty much any time. All I had to do was call up and say I wanted to come, and I could just pretty much go and get out of the house and, swim or, yeah, just like I said, freeing, just get out of that. So that part of it was fun and nice. In addition to, again, I got to travel, and I got to do store openings and things like that. The photographers were fabulous, wonderful experience, so talented. They had great set arrangement, people that did all the sets and the clothes and everything. So it was wonderful training.
That is so fantastic. That is so cool. Wow. As far as, I mean, would you say that, I guess maybe like as far as a movie role, or just moving forward, any kind of dream position that you would like to, I guess, maybe be able to take on, as far as an actor or model, anything to that nature?
Well, like I said, at one time I was in a band. I haven't really sang in years, but if and when I have time, I would love to start singing again. And I was thinking it'd be really fun to have a part like where playing my age now as someone who was a star when they were young, a famous singing star. Okay. And now I'm trying to get back into it, but I don't quite have it. Or something where I think I have it, but I don't. I don't know, just some interesting character played around, coming back years later and trying to get back into it, and just what could happen with that.
That's pretty cool.
Kind of like a music and lyrics type of an idea.
Yeah.
I like that movie personally. It was very well done. And Hugh Grant, even though he's hit or miss in my book, it was actually a very charming movie.
What's speaking of music, what's one or two of your favorite music genres?
Well, of course, I'm from Texas. So most horror fans hate it, but I do love country music. I love country rock. That's probably my favorite.
All
But
right. Which country music? The country pop that we have nowadays, or the respectable?
Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson.
I really like it all.
Yeah.
You can take
Okay.
me all the way back in time to where they were twanging, or you can bring me all the way up to modern day. I mean, I love Shania Twain. I love Blake Shelton. I like the full gambit
Yeah.
so of country music. And I think that's because other than the time I spent in California, from the time I was very little until now, that's what I hear, from when I was 2 and 3 years old, that's what they were playing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's probably why I love it all. But I love other music. I love rock and roll. I love classical, instrumentals, jazz. So I like a lot of music.
And you said that you were in a band. What kind of genre was that?
I sang some country western. I'm trying to remember, that was a long time ago. Oh God. Jeannie C. Riley. That's the name I was trying to think of. Her stuff with on the bridge, what's the name of the bridge? Waxahachie Bridge, I don't know, some bridge that she's about to go off of, right? I sang, we're talking 40 years ago. So yeah, so if I did sing, it would, well, I don't know, there's a lot of things I could probably be happy singing, but a country western probably fits me the best.
Nice.
Very cool.
Well, and as far as because I apologize, we're coming close to our time here. What kind of advice would you give to up and coming artists, actors, models that are wanting to be able to get to that point, to what you've achieved, and now here you are, they're calling you up, wanting you back, hunting you down. You got Jason Blum.
Yeah.
Where's Sandy Johnson? I need her. What kind of advice would you give these up and coming kids?
Well, I would tell them, first of all, that attitude is probably the most important thing in life. And you never know who it is you're talking to or what role they might play in your life. So you should always be kind to people. You should always care about people. And so as you're meeting different people in the industry, just remember, if you don't get a particular job or something, stay positive. It may be next time.
Oh, it's definitely full of rejection.
Yeah, if you leave a good impression, don't burn those bridges. So just be positive, have a good attitude, work hard, keep improving your craft, keep working, finding new ways to improve it. And also be sure to acknowledge other people that are doing well and congratulate them on the things that they're succeeding in. So be aware of others as well in the industry.
Very cool. Now, all right, I'm going to blindside you with a weird question. So you're being sought after for 7 years. Do you think like your agent and whatnot had like his own version of the milk carton? It's like, have you seen Sandy Johnson?
Well, it was interesting because the night that he got a hold of me, of course, I had no idea, honestly, no idea. Some people find that hard to believe, but I really didn't know that Halloween was a big movie. I was unaware that there were a whole bunch of others because my life has just been not there.
Right.
And whenever he told me that I had fans, I just like, this is some psycho that
Are you my agent? What'd you do with it?
What are you talking about? I have fans.
Yeah, it was very, very hard to understand. And he started telling me that he had written hundreds and hundreds of letters to Sandy Johnson throughout the United States.
Oh my God.
He had texted, he had done everything. there was a Facebook out there called Whatever Happened to Sandy Johnson. I mean, he was trying every avenue.
I was just going to say, I mean, there could be a whole movie on this, like searching for Sandy Johnson.
So he just appears out of nowhere on my messenger asking if I'm the Sandy Johnson from Halloween. And I mean, this is a thought that I hadn't had in 40 years. So it was like, what? Where did this even come from? So that whole night to me was very strange.
Oh, wow.
Now, how did you hold on to an agent for that long and be that under the radar? I mean, all right, we know that
I didn't
did
have
a life.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't have an agent. No.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood.
No, he just found me right before Halloween 2018.
Right.
Okay.
He'd been looking for me all this time. And then he found me, like I said, 2 weeks before they were going to wrap 2018. So no, I didn't have an agent.
Oh, I apologize then. I totally misunderstood. Because I mean, I had this scenario already built up in my head. I'm going, how did that happen? So I apologize.
Sir, you dropped the ball.
Yeah, no, I didn't have an agent. I didn't know I needed one.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I
think that's like such a cool just comeback story. I mean, just coming back and, I mean, there's
outside of the total,
it could be its own film.
Yeah, outside of being totally flabbergasted by who's this creepo? Really?
Yeah, I mean, I just really doubted that anything he was saying. He's talking about you can go to these things called cons and you can sign autographs and people will be so happy to meet you and they'll pay you to do this. And I'm just like thinking, who are you?
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, well, shoot. I mean, just getting to meet you, take photos with you. Oh my God. Yeah.
So I get to travel, I get to meet people that know who I am.
Yeah.
Right.
He
said, you're going to have a long line. And I'm going, really?
That's incredible.
I could see that, like 100 people lined up. It's Judith Myers. What? Yeah.
Yeah. They were so happy to see me and hug me. And I was just like, wow, okay. So of course now I love all them back and I'm happy to hug them too. So
that's awesome.
That's awesome.
That is
and then
cool.
I mean from that of just the collectibles and memorabilia, I mean, it's Miss June.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, definitely. I mean,
definitely both sides of the
coin. Yeah. There's modeling, acting. That is so awesome. That is so fantastic. I think it's really, really rad.
Yeah. With everything that had happened to you and becoming a teacher and stuff like that, I just lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
Me too.
Not only I did that.
No. This brain is full a lot.
No, we can only handle 7 things at a time.
7? And I am definitely below the bar.
I think it's 7, and then 1 drops off. Yeah, I think mine dropped off after about 3.
I'm working him then way too much.
Okay, I think I've got it squared out in my head now. Since we are getting close to our half an hour mark, and seemingly we're wanting to continue. Since becoming a teacher and finding out all this, has this made you quit that profession, or are you still holding on to that while you're going and doing these things?
I actually quit teaching I quit teaching full time probably about 12 or 13 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Then I was working for another company teaching teachers.
Oh, wow.
So, and I've also taught college. I have a PhD, so I've also taught college both in person and virtually. And then, and now I have 2 companies of my own. So
Oh,
I
wow.
I don't teach anymore.
Was specific field there as far as in the teaching? I mean, like
Yes, science.
science.
Yes,
Very
I
cool.
taught science and environmental education. So both of those.
Wonderful.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
So how with the conventions and the cons and that, I mean, do you have a pretty busy schedule? Like, I mean, are you going different places, or is it more or less kind of Zoom related, or kind of a mix as far as being able to catch up with fans and just kind of entertaining those characters that you once played?
Well, let's see. Of course, last year was COVID. So I was booked for 7 events. Didn't get to do any of those, but I did 2 others. So I ended up at the Mahoning Drive-In in Pennsylvania, which was so much fun. And then I did the Houston Film Festival pop-up market in
Cool.
Houston, which was also fun. So I'm hoping some of the ones from last year have rebooked, but a lot of them are still working on schedules and they're pushing them back later in the year. So my first con is actually Days of the Dead in Vegas.
Oh, wow.
So cool.
That's in May, mid-May. So I love Vegas. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Nice.
And then if all goes well, I'll be doing Chicago for the God, what is with my brain today? What do they call the one in Chicago? A flashback weekend. Too many names. They all have names. Days of the Dead, flashback weekend. So I'll be doing that one. And then if all goes well, I'll be at For the Love of Horror in UK in October. And one other one I can't announce yet. And I think he's working on a couple more. So I'm hoping that this year will become what last year was supposed to be, because I was very disappointed that I wasn't going to, I thought I was going to see fans all year and I didn't get to see anybody. But I visited a lot on Facebook.
That's
awesome.
That is so cool. Yeah, because I saw that on your Facebook where different fans were getting different pieces of memorabilia signed by you, or like a photo here, or I think there was I think I saw the one where it was like the ball cap. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Baseball cap just went up for auction. I've had it all these years. And about 6 months ago, I have another agent. I actually have a Playboy agent that's not my regular agent. And he wanted to know if I had any memorabilia from the shot. And I said, well, the only thing I still have is the hat. He goes, you still have the hat? I said, I do. So he said, would you like to put it up for auction? So I thought about it. I thought, yeah, what the heck? All right. I've had it all these years. So it sold, and now it's in a man cave back east somewhere.
That's awesome.
So I did take a couple pictures of it before I sent it off.
Yeah. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, I guess, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, with our time being up, I apologize about that, but I thank you so much for taking a little bit of time to hang out with us in the parlor tonight. This has been really fantastic. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, I've enjoyed it. It was great meeting both of you.
Absolutely.
It was wonderful meeting you as well. Thank you very much for joining us.
And do you guys do cons? Do you come to cons?
We haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
We've entertained a lot of things. We are actually invited to go to a shoot in Miami later this year.
Yeah.
But as for conventions, we haven't. Now, as the Parlor, we have not entertained going out there yet. We would love to get to that point.
Well, and shoot, as far as where we're at and the whole process of things, I mean, we're only, I think, what, 7 months old, 8 months old.
Yeah.
So I'm really just bringing everything together. We definitely have a lot of ideas, a lot of things on the table.
Yep.
A lot of things on the plate right now that we're working on, because aside from doing our interviews such as this and our review bits on different films and shows, music, we also have our own sketch episode series as well. So where it's, kind of offbeat, slapstick. So we're working on a lot of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So bringing everything together, and hopefully, I would say over these next 2, 3, 4 months, have that much more on the table to showcase.
Yeah.
So yeah, the idea of going to cons,
we're not against the idea.
Absolutely.
Well, just as far as hanging out, I mean, it's a blast. You will have a blast. I mean, you are just immersed in horror fans. So it's a rush. It is a rush of energy. I'm telling you.
Ocala here has their Ocala Comic-Con, but we haven't gotten to any horror festival or anything like that here yet. Hopefully that is something that could be in the works. I mean, Ocala is very much a central hub. I mean, all roads lead to Rome, and no matter what, you will cut through Ocala pretty closely going through Central Florida.
Well, and especially if you like horses, it is the horse capital
of the world.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I do like horses.
I admire them from a distance. It's the fact that they're a big muscle-bound animal that can bite my fingers off, kick me in the stomach, head, whatever. I've got a huge respect for them. I can admire them, no doubt about that. But I'm a little wary of them at the same time.
Here's a carrot. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they're going to catch it like my dog catching popcorn.
We're just playing it safe.
Very safe. That's the case. They're going to just look at you, go, really?
Well, speaking of conventions, I mean, being in good company with you and Mr. Bill Oberst Jr. Shoot.
If we get out to a convention and we see that you're on the guest list, we will definitely come by and say hi.
Give you a call.
Awesome. Yeah, I think Spooky Empire, I was supposed to be there last year. That's in Florida. So maybe they'll have me back again.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I didn't go. Since I
that's just a couple hours south of us. Yeah. Spooky.
Yeah. So
watch
that's Tampa, right?
Wait, Orlando.
Really?
Yeah. Was it Orlando? Yeah, I'm trying to remember now. Shoot, we might change that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
we'll take a look afterwards.
My agent does all the tickets and stuff, so I never know where I'm going until I get on the flight.
Because Spooky Empire, that's normally like kind of like a three day event that they have down there.
Friday through Sunday.
Yeah.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah. Well, you'll definitely have to let us know. Keep us posted. All means, absolutely.
In the meantime, feel free to keep in touch with us. We're around. We love hanging out with everybody and just relaxing. Any ideas or whatnot. We like to network and bounce ideas off of people for future productions, or hopefully be able to work on some sort of production together at some point, which I think would be fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah. Searching for Sandy Johnson.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you guys great success with the Parlor. It's a great idea, and I'm sure people enjoy it.
Yeah.
I hope so. I mean, we've gotten some good feedback so far. I mean, in our small community.
Mm-hmm.
And we're slowly reaching out a little bit out there. Our podcast hit Bangladesh and Saudi Arabia.
Nice.
Fantastic. That's news to me. Right on.
It was on our Discord.
I missed that.
Okay. But in the meantime, thank you very much for joining us. You can catch all of our interviews on YouTube and also in podcast form via Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and many more. In the meantime, thank you again for joining us. And why am I repeating myself? Over here will be the subscribe link. Please hit the subscribe, hit the goofy bell. This way you can get notified every time that we post something up, whether or not it's big or small. And I'm Ryan James.
I'm Brody Barcode. Miss
And
Sandy Johnson. Yeah, thank you again so much. This has been really fantastic.
And have a happy one, everybody.